Hi there, Richard Arthur here in a UFC gym. This is the only UFC gym I've ever been in my life. It's actually in Bolivia, would you believe? I stumbled across this place the other day and thought I'd come back here to do a little video. I've never been to one of these in my life. There is not one in Thailand where I used to live. And if you don't know, I used to work in Asian MMA industry with a Full Metal Dojo primarily. And there it is, nice sign on the top there. Beautiful. But yeah, I've never been to one before, and as you saw from the beginning of the video, it's very much a fitness gym. Cross-training machines, not a whole lot of mixed martial arts going on, perhaps a little bit for fitness. I do know from my own experiences in MMA, certainly Asian MMA, and I'm sure UFC knows as well that there's a lot more money to be made in gyms for, people looking for health, wellness, rather than mixed martial arts itself. The pro MMA guys are more for, marketing purposes to get people into the gym who pay the bills. Anyway, we are here in Bolivia. This is Santa Cruz de la Sierra. And yeah, this is about as flashy as it gets in the area. Hard Rock Cafe over there. Not sure who still goes to those, but they still exist. And just going to show you this area of Santa Cruz de la Sierra. The area is called Equipetrol, which I believe is named after a Bolivian oil company, Equipetrol. I was looking for the place to stay in the city that wasn't in the center. The center's okay, it's quite pleasant, but a little bit quiet. And I knew there would be some flashy area somewhere to hang out in, and eventually I found this. And we're gonna go in here. What's this called? Bad angle. No sign here. Anyway, this is Ventura Mall. I believe this is the biggest mall in Bolivia. Just want to show you that Bolivia has nice things. So I believe Santa Cruz de la Sierra, it's kind of in the lowlands, just on the kind of border of the Andes. It's kind of the richest city in Bolivia. And yeah, this is the largest mall in the country. Just to show you how it looks. If you're living in Bolivia and you've got a bit of money, and you want to go shopping and buy nice things or look at nice things, this is the place to come. Thought you might be interested to break any preconceptions you may have of Bolivia, just to show you that indeed they do have malls and normal stuff like everyone else. Beautiful construction there. I've been hanging out in this town a bit longer than I would have liked to, but it's kind of warm, and I wanted to catch up on some work, so I found a nice modern apartment building, and I've been working there. It's got some office co-working space on the roof as well, and it's an okay town. It's comfortable, warm, it's got food, nice restaurants, mall, as you can see. But yeah, if I was just traveling, I would not spend much time here. Right, we're going to go through the mall and head into Equipetrol area. Check it out. Spin it around. So many things to buy in the supermarket, and come out this exit here. Okay, there's these two twin towers. I forget the name, but we are now heading south from Ventura Mall, which is in the north of the city. We're going to head onto the main road called Avenida San Martin, named after the liberator of Argentina primarily, and also Chile, Peru. We're not there yet, though. Yes, yes, I can. Santa Cruz de la Sierra. over the road at this kind of supermarket complex. So yeah, this is in the north of the city. Yeah, nice things to be had. When I first got here, this is my second time in Bolivia, but when I first got here, I wasn't sure if it was safe or anything, but I can tell you now, I feel perfectly safe in this town from what I've seen of it. I'm sure there are rough areas, but I've been around here for over 2 weeks and hanging out in the center of the city at night, and it's perfectly fine. The main plaza in town is very busy at night, and this area is fine. I haven't seen anything weird at all. You can see it's a collection of ATMs to choose from. Get your tokens out. So yeah, this is high-end living in Bolivia. Obviously, after this, I am going into the Andes to the west, and we'll see, the rest of Bolivia that most people go to and want to see in the mountains. Let's spin this around. Nice video wall here. There's high-end bars and restaurants in this building. I actually went there on one of my first weekend I was here. Sort of Argentinian beef restaurants, cocktail bars. It's all very nice. Not cheap either. It's Bolivia's known as being generally cheap in South America, but it's quite a lot more expensive here than elsewhere in the country, I think. Price is not quite as what you would pay in the West for things, but pretty close. So yeah, this is the beginning of Avenida San Martin. We're now walking south down the Avenida. This is basically the center of Equipetrol. From here, at this point, there's not a huge amount to see. Hello, welcome back. As you can see, it was raining here this afternoon. I've been here like two and a half weeks, and it's the first rain we've had that whole time. This is June now, so it's the winter, though we're in the tropics, so as you can see, it's not actually that cold. So usually the rainy season is in their summer, which is, I would guess from around November to April kind of time. So it's unusual to have rain at this time of year, but it was a welcome relief from the heat. Last week it was going up to like 30 degrees every day in the afternoon. So we are now back in the south side of Equipetrol. This is near where I'm staying. You can see a Nike store that literally just opened like a few days ago while I've been here. Makeup place, showroom for whatever they are, GWM, is that a brand? Never heard of it. And down this way there are some nice restaurants to choose from. If you're looking for crazy nightlife, this probably isn't the place. If there is some crazy nightlife in this city, I don't know where it is. I believe there are some clubs here somewhere, but I have obviously not been to them. A bit too old for that. But yeah, there are a range of restaurants, international food. Over here, Papa John's Lomo sandwiches. So they've got their own kind of brands of fast food. Well, I had a good pizza here the other day. Some coffee shops. It's all a little bit, what's the word? Chintzy, is that a word? Chintzy. Over the other side of the road, beef steak place. I think the high-end places get their beef imported from Argentina, which is just to the south. There's another one. So yeah, taxi driver was telling me the other day, and from my own readings, that you can kind of split Bolivia into two parts. One part is in the west, which is the Andes. Obviously very high altitude, very indigenous population, one of the highest percentages of indigenous people in the whole of South America up there. That's where we're going next. But it is generally a little bit poorer than the lowland areas. This is very much the capital of the lowlands, although it is situated right on the edge of the Andes, so it kind of connects the whole country together economically. So yeah, here we're more kind of mixed race people and European original people, Spanish blood and so on. Here we have Irish pub. Had a few meals there. It's always a bit quiet though. More beef steak al arejo. Can't pronounce it. Not super cheap if you're expecting it to be cheap here. It's quite expensive. So yeah, if you're ever in Santa Cruz, it's a nice place. If you're a digital nomad and you want to catch up with some work in a comfortable city, this might be a good place for you. It's a Chinese restaurant. And Vaca Morena. I should probably have a steak. This could be my last Argentinian beef steak for a long time. I'm actually leaving tomorrow at last. I think it's time I left. I went to Samaipata last few days ago, just for 2 nights, just to get a bit of fresh air and see the countryside. I was considering continuing overland to Sucre or Cochabamba, but I was told that night buses are the norm, which I did not fancy. I'm going to try to avoid any night buses if I can. So I came back here for a few more days, do some more work, and tomorrow I am flying to Cochabamba, which is the second or third or fourth largest city in Bolivia. There are lots of direct flights every day from here to there. It's only about 45 minutes. So I'm looking forward to that. It will be my first time in Cochabamba. This is my second time in Bolivia. The first time was as COVID was taking over the world in March 2020. So it's nice to see it normally. And finally, we've got this Mexican place. Maybe I should eat here. This is pretty much the end of Equipetrol. After that, it's just more residential. So yeah, I'm sure there's more to it than I've shown you today, but for the time being, signing out from Equipetrol, Santa Cruz de la Sierra, Bolivia. Okay, filming now.
Saluda, viejo.
Bienvenido a Vaca Morena.
¿Vos?
Un saludo aquí de Vaca Morena.
Mirá,
¿De
mirá.
dónde es él?
¿De dónde sos?
Yo soy de Inglaterra.
Ve, mira, de Inglaterra.
Ahí para
Saludo.
Para los de Manchester City.
Hola, ¿cómo va? Saludos. Nadie quiere video.
Selfie. There we are, Bolivia, Santa Cruz de la Sierra.
Yeah, that's right.
Vaca Morena. Place to come in Equipetrol.
We're waiting for you. Come anytime that you want.
Beef coming soon. And UFC on the TV. There you go, what's not to love? So yeah, UFC on TV. And beautiful Argentinian steak on my plate. Could be my last one for a while as we're heading into the Andes tomorrow. I'm guessing they don't bring all the Argentinian steak all the way up the mountains in the Andes. Could be wrong though.
Anyway, buon provecho.